Philippines arena is erupting right now. It's one series that stands in between a ticket to the grand final and another ticket off to Riyadh later this year. Is it going to be Team Liquid Philippines or ONIC Philippines in our first match of the day? And will we get an epic conclusion to this golden rivalry? It's me, Naisu, Ingan, and Renmar on the desk all throughout the day. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? We're getting a glimpse at the emblems here.
Oh, all right. All standard in terms of the emblem picks. Of course, Superfriend's going for his fast-rotating, heavy map presence Farsa. And yeah, I too am erupting with excitement.
Yeah.
Even though it's only game number 1.
I feel the drums. My body's shaking right now, but
hopefully that's connected.
Yeah. If you're gonna look at actually the Suyo so far this playoffs, it seems like it doesn't have a good track record.
Oh yeah.
So King Kong is gonna look to change that, and at the same time, Oheb and Kirk, for a second time only to use the Moskov and the Glue for these respectively. So far, no wins coming into the playoffs. So let's see how things will change, because so far it has been a slow start for both of these teams. We're used to seeing the mid laners and the roamers really poke it out in the mid lane.
Yeah, this one's quite different though too, just because of what we've seen the past couple of days, a lot of these long series, and we've seen adjustments obviously throughout these longer series happen, but this time around with both compositions here, I feel like, yeah, we haven't seen the Suyo perform what we're used to seeing, and that's fine. He kind of needed that adjustment to happen, and at the same time, you just have to be able to support him. Now you have a Glue here that could help, but Brusco
finds Carl TZ with a Shield Unity, forced out the Shadow early on, but in exchange for the Revitalize, so a crucial battle spell for ONIC expended for this turtle.
Yeah, very early in the game, Team Liquid Philippines are not going to be able to contest objectives as much. I mean, you've got Glue, you've got Baksha that you have to deal with, Suyo, of course, one of the relatively tankier assassins.
Oh, Super Prince with a feathered airstrike. It's a grab coming in for the side of ONIC as they take down Sanford as well. Let's see how TLPH will respond, because Kirk flickers in once again with Super Prince. King Kong also on the chase, goes in for the kill, and an aggressive start for the Sonics as they take down one more. The daddy goes down.
He goes down, and hey, King Kong might have just put Suyo back on the board a little bit here.
Oh yeah, King Kong has not won this playoffs yet, if I'm not mistaken. He's 0-5 with everything that has happened, with all the lineups he's had to go against. But so far, in this one, this is not a terrible hero matchup against the Suyo. Sanji gets picked in the mid by Prince and Brusco.
In the blink of an eye, Brusco and Super Prince really putting control at the center of the map once again. As a 4-0 start for the Sonics with 2.3k gold lead.
Yeah, very fast start here for ONIC Philippines, and you know who has done really well so far through the playoffs is this Farsa pick.
Yeah.
Right? It's been so good for a lot of the teams that bring it, because it's got such good early damage potential throughout the early game, but even in the late game, we've seen usually topping sometimes the carry in the big 4 stats for the Farsas here. So we're going to have to see how Sanji adjusts that, because as he's sitting at 0-2, still trying to build up into his first item, doesn't have the flicker right now. We know even the Jushin pairs up really well with a lot of compositions, but right now, they're just kind of getting outmaneuvered.
Yeah. Because you can see the dive center composition of ONIC, Brusco has been a thorn in the neck of TLPH. As soon as the Lantern player is just beaming up, Brusco just dives in with a Shield Unity, disrupts whatever TLPH has in store for ONIC Philippines.
All right, so ONIC Philippines, they might find another one. JP, no, you don't need to dive under the tower this early on. Second turtle is going to be up, and it's still going to be looking good for ONIC, as Carl TZ is already getting pressured by Kirk.
Yeah. Kirk just replicating what a Hilda does right now. Sticking on to Carl TZ, even sustaining damage coming in from 2. JP goes in with a glorious pathway. SOD is going to connect here. Sanford goes in with the Infernal Pursuit. Might be able to bring down Super Prince. That's one member down for ONIC Philippines. There's going to be a flicker. Sanford working on King Kong with the zone, as JP might be able to get taken down. JP will fall. Super Prince as well. King Kong escapes.
Just in a snap, ONIC Philippines lost their formation. Kirk, yes, he was doing the right job. King Kong might be up next in the docket, but Brusco's there to help him out, unless...
No! See ya! King Kong was there, and now Carlos, he's not, there's no way Kirk goes under that. It's a Hayabusa versus a Glue. He's going to be fine, gets away, but Kirk takes a couple shots. Might just be trying, I thought he was going to try to delay for King Kong to make it there, but yeah, ultimately, ONIC Philippines still holding on to that lead they had there. What an interesting fight for the objective, but at least Carl got the turtle. Now the play here on the bottom side for this turret.
Instant rotation from ONIC. after dominating the turtle fight, instantly goes down and helps Kelra, gives him enough space to take down a turret down bottom. And now so far, we're seeing ONIC Philippines, really the sustain is just there for them because it's going to come down to a point where TLPH, they have to use a lot of resources just to get by Brusco and Kirk.
Yeah, they are so tanky, and again, they don't have the damage profile to deal with them this early on. Although, yes, they were able to break the formation of ONIC Philippines. It's the strength of their lineup. But if ONIC Philippines keeps a tighter formation, they're a little bit more disciplined, and they're a little bit more careful with their timing, then they should not be as susceptible to what TLPH did to them earlier. In terms of the items, still very close. You see Carl Teasy still trying to catch up to King Kong, though. Around getting close to 1,000 gold difference between the Hayabusa and the Suyo.
They're not getting too, lane in some of the important lanes, they're not getting too far behind, and it's going to be kind of work here, even for Carl Teasy, just trying to clear this lane. But look at the shots from Kelra, bringing him under half health. Objective's going to be up shortly, so you got ONIC Philippines trying to get in position, and TLPH looking to see what angle they can take. And part of that is just let, as Brigitte called earlier, let the OHEB farm up.
Yeah.
You know, let him get to where he needs to be on this Moskov. He can put pressure across the map if he wants to, and hopefully join these fights or the objectives later on when he's got some more items. But
let's go, JP.
Oh no, JP used the glorious pathway defensively there. Major resource expended for the side of TLPH and on the right time because the turtle spawns.
All right, so Team Liquid Philippines are most likely going to be giving this objective up as they have their eyes set on the tower in the bottom lane, but the minion waves are a bit too far. So that could call for a defense on side of ONIC. No, they're going to be willing to give it up. Oh, Carl Teasy goes in.
Has to use the Wiki Shadow kill to evade a potential death, but gets stunned down by Brusco. Feeds the kill off to Kelra, and a huge kill onto the young goat.
what was the idea there?
Yeah, it looks like he really just wanted the purple buff, but Sanford could be up next. A little bit too greedy, Carl Teasy. And a great bump by Brusco.
Maybe he just wanted to force a situation where either the retro is going to be used or even steal that purple buff, and then he thought he could get away, but all the, the super fan was basically there at that point. So this leads to now another objective taken, and maybe his purple buff taken.
ONIC Philippines now attempting to steal away the purple buff of Carl Teasy. That's a 5-man rotation. Kirk just soaking up the damage that TLPH can give him. And now ONIC Philippines holding on to a 5k gold lead. Spread already committed by Kirk. Here comes a glorious pathway. Will they be able to make a play here as Sanji just continuing to dish out the Lantern Flare, but it has no effect whatsoever to the members of the Sonics.
Still not there in terms of the damage department as ONIC Philippines' gold lead is ballooning closer and closer to 5,000. OHEB is just going to be left in split push duty to try and get resources for himself and take towers down for the team. I think Liquid are just going to have to turtle this out and try to play for the counter punch if they can, because even if they initiate, they don't have the damage. There's only a glowing wand on that Jusin.
Yeah, and Carl's about 2,000, a little less than 2,000 gold behind at this point, so he's definitely playing catch-up, and that's why we see him maybe taking some of these chances, trying to get what he can, or even slow down King Kong a little bit in whatever capacity that's going to be. That's what Conceal going to be used. Might just be enough to push them off of this tier 2 turret. Sanji?
Forced out the Crimson Beacon as Kelra on the chase. Here comes JP though to the rescue. Still no casualties for both of these teams.
Already up to a Malefic Roar. 3 core items for King Kong Suyo. At the same time, Kirk and Brusco are getting closer and closer to building up the dominance ISIS, which means that once they have those items and OHEB wants to, smack a little bit of those big beefy dudes, it's going to be like, wait, why am I getting slower? It's not as effective as I want it to be.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of what can help them. Again, you got to remember what we saw yesterday. TLPH, they reverse swept, right? So even in this situation where they're down, 6,000 gold, you're not going to be able to just count them out. And you wouldn't want to do that because they are able to find plays even when you think their backs are completely against the wall. The fight for the purple buff, it looks like Carl Teasy's not going to get it though. So does not have his purple buff for now. The Lord is up. This could be a big decision for them. Do they actually want to contest into this, or does ONIC Philippines just get this? It looks like they'll keep OHEB down on that bottom side, possibly get the tier 1, but JP takes a little bit of hits.
Here comes the spread, forced out the glorious pathway. But Kirk works on JP. As they bring him down, King Kong
There's a spear.
focuses his eyes on the Lord. Kirk and Brusco just zoning out Carl Teasy. The spear is going to connect. Sanford has to flicker out. Again, Kirk latches on Carl Teasy here. Super Prince with a feather airstrike to zone out, but Kelroy, I think he wants to go for the kill. Sanford goes in with the Infernal Pursuit, and he's going to take him down as King Kong gets the Lord. Carl Teasy here might be the next target. Sanji forced to use out Crimson Beacon, and Kelroy got taken down.
Sanji was still able to find Kelra there, but ONIC Philippines are going to be walking away with the Lord. Oheb got back into the action with a Spear of Destruction, but he was able to take the tower down bottom. But at the end, the long sequence, ONIC Philippines are still going to be in control.
Okay, they're still in control right now. The most they maybe get out of this is, all the shields are going to be down. Maybe they get a base turret with this, but Oheb and Carl are still up.
Kirk again with a flicker in. Super Prince with a feathered airstrike. As they work on the mid lane turret, Lord sieging in onto the top. They still have their holy shield. I think every single shield will be popped here. 4-man rotation for ONIC. Kelra still not in the picture, and TLPH will work on this Lord.
Yeah, you don't have to force that.
So much pressure. Kirk is literally the glue holding not ONIC together, Team Liquid Philippines together. And they don't want to be together. They want a little bit more of separation between them so that they can do things individually. But Kirk is just keeping them at bay. Sanford doing everything he can to do something here, but he's going to be in trouble.
But Kirk latches on to Sanford here. Glorious Pathway cast it down. They're working on Kelra. Might be able to bring him down. That's one member down in exchange for Sanford. Carl Teasy goes in with a Wiki Shadow kill.
It might be a turnaround here for Team Liquid Philippines. Brusco already low, but the members of Team Liquid Philippines are falling as ONIC are holding on.
Sanji might be able to take down one. A double for Sanji, but Kirk answers back. A mega kill. Kirk and King Kong working on the top lane alongside Super Prince, and they're going to bring down an inhibitor turret.
Kirk. He is such a nuisance on this glue. It's working so well for them.
It was a perfect pick. Again, I feel like there's a reason as to why I always forget about glue in drafts. Now Kirk is reminding us why you shouldn't.
Don't forget the name.
Don't forget, there's a UKK in town. It's Kirk and King Kong.
It's Kirk and King Kong, man. Yeah, because that's as far as we go. We only go to 2, right?
Yeah.
We keep it there, and now ONIC Philippines is ready to go ahead and get ready for the next fight. You're still 50 seconds away from this objective coming up. And so at this point, TLPH, it looked like in some of those team fights, they might have been able to turn some of that around, right? But the biggest factor here is they're just lacking some of the damage, some of the durability because they are behind by this much gold. So if they're somehow able to, like you mentioned earlier, Renmar, to turtle up and be on the defensive, but buy time, then maybe they catch up here, a fight once again.
Clark Wade from Sanford just try and stop ONIC's onslaught there as they try and take away the purple buff of Carl Teasy. But again, it's going to be a waiting game for TLPH because in 15 seconds, the Lord will be spawning.
Kirk feels like a cowboy with a K right now. He's just rounding up all the horses together, and they just want to run free. They just want to run wild. But again, they're just all kept up. And of course, that means that Super Prince is happy, Kelra's happy, King Kong is happy because, well, when he goes in with the Soul Sever, he'll be able to deal so much damage.
Yeah. That's why Super Prince isn't afraid to early cast the feathered airstrike because he knows there's a cleanup that can come from King Kong. Kirk with the spread there.
King Kong?
As King Kong jumps in once again. Brusco with the shield Unity looking for the proper target, and he latches onto JP.
That's going to be another one. Counter's going to take JP down. ONIC Philippines look like they've found the main target, and that's 2 down for the side of Team Liquid Philippines.
The next target might be Oheb here. King Kong jumps in, but Carl Teasy wants to fight back, and Carl Teasy wants that trade, but Sanji is the only one left. Super Prince with a double.
That might have been enough, though. Sanji on the run. Forget the Lord. Brusco wants to hunt him down. Kelra there, too. We'll see if they can push this into the mid lane. They still have some time. They try to keep it together, but Sanji, he's all alone. Can he actually clear this out and defend it?
The call for ONIC Philippines is to get an inhibitor turret in the middle lane. Let's see if TLPH can still come back from this game. They don't decide to go for the Lord because King Kong is not in the picture. So there was still time bought for TLPH.
All right. They have another shot at this. 3,500 is the gold lead. It's not massive. They have the resources. Should have enough to get small wins here and there. But again, it seems to be them needing to initiate something. But it's tough. It's so tough when you have to think about the grab of the glue.
Yeah. He hasn't died, man.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's 3-0-8. Kirk has been unstoppable here. He's been the catalyst for ONIC Philippines and the bane for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Yep. He's providing so much space for Kelra to basically move around. Even King Kong to an extent, and that's what I was saying, you know, Tsuyo, You really need to rely on that composition.
Kirk again!
Oh,
Again, Kirk with Chris Spread paired up with Super Prince's feathered airstrike. But CLBH was able to back off. JP already cast a glorious pathway. Brusco quite low, but he has to revitalize it. Sanford goes down.
And without OHEP, since he's grabbed by the glove, and it looks like he's gonna go in, it's a turnaround for Team Liquid, but just in a snap, ONIC has shattered that dream to keep this game alive. A triple for King Kong.
it's Kirk and King Kong in game 1. They made it work, and now they'll march into the base.
And in a blink of an eye, the Sonics rages forward as they take game 1.